You always just go happy when
I think it's like.
People, Deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for tuning back in each and every time. First things first, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and in some cases, good night. I hope everyone's well. I hope everyone's safe. I hope everybody is blessed. Now, again, on the eve of playing Porto, Arsenal versus Porto is later today. At the time of making this video, it is a Tuesday. Join me for the watch along. Again, people, we're going to go over throughout the course of this video what Mikel Arteta and Gabriel have had to say going into that game and all the news, views, gossip, and all of that jazz concerning our football club. As I said, I hope you're all well and safe. Smash the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Leave a comment in the comment section after, as well as the live chat. These things help the YouTube algorithm, people. We're on the road to 70k. I can't do it alone, people. I need you lot's help. So yeah, big up you lot. Make sure the creative juices are flowing as well throughout anything we discuss. Now, Jurgen Klopp, I don't know why Jurgen Klopp has spoken about Lokonga, but maybe he's trying to sabotage Liverpool. Who knows? Klopp confused by Arsenal's transfer decision as Liverpool boss delivers interesting verdict. Liverpool head coach or departing head coach at the end of the season has been left confused by a transfer decision made by Premier League title rivals Arsenal. Of course, it has nothing to do with him. We do know Liverpool are 2 points clear at the top of the Premier League and they're the ones to beat. Allegedly, people, he has said, Albert Sambi Lokonga, when you see him playing, you think, oh, he's an Arsenal player and they loaned him. Interesting, which is fair enough. And it shows that Lokonga might be on the right path, you know, and showing what he can do at Luton. Some would say, respectfully to Luton, you know, you're a Premier League Belgian international, someone that's been at Anderlecht. You should be shining a newly promoted Premier League side where, you know, respectfully, Ross Barkley is a very good player and one of the most informed England players around at the moment, probably has an indirect chance of being on the plane for the Euros. But you'd expect them to be shining lights, people, and don't get twisted. Luton, you know, whether they stay in the division is another thing. They've got a bunch of quality players, and this season everybody's seen going to Luton's home ground is one of the most difficult games you can play. So yeah, I mean, you know, Lokonga's finding his feet at Luton. He's doing his thing, definitely more than he's done at Arsenal or Crystal Palace. We spoke about this yesterday. Check out my other video, to the point where yes, us Arsenal fans are probably sitting there thinking, right, he could be reintegrated, maybe the pennies dropped, and now he's showing his quality, which we don't know what's going to happen with Jorginho, Partey, and El Nene, who all three of them are on the wrong side of 30 and all got, you know, not too long on their contract if they've got more than a year or so, or even less. So you could say Lokonga could bag a spot in that. Some would say, you know what, he's played himself into the shop window, and you'd imagine Arsenal probably, if you can do it for less, great, but you would imagine after Arsenal probably have to spend around 200 million in the summer, people. Once again, and we're going to have to probably get some money back in terms of outgoing. So, you know, the Lokongas, if he's played his way into the shop window, Reece Nelson, Smith Rowe, Eddie Nketiah are always drawing interest. Aaron Ramsdale could be another one. Kieran Tierney's also a forgotten man. Couple of young players could leave and you could get some fees like that. And there's also a bunch of other players I probably haven't mentioned. So yeah, big up Lokonga if that's the thing. He's actually spoken in the Athletic, people. And whatnot, and let's see what he's saying. We all know his story. It started quite brightly. He did look good in pre-season at some point, and I think he lost confidence. I think a lot of things with Lokonga is based around confidence, if I'm honest with you. He has said, I had 2 years that were not easy. And so in relation to his first 2 years in England, where obviously it didn't work out initially at Arsenal, didn't work out or pull up any trees at Crystal Palace, to have a manager that backs you up, that gives you confidence, that trusts you, that's what a player wishes for and what a player needs to perform at his best. That's what I'm trying to give back on the pitch. Fair enough, people. He said he loves him in relation to Rob Edwards. You know, and you look at a lot of women on social media, Rob Edwards, you know, is probably up there with Mikel Arteta as a manager that a lot of girl fancy, people. So yeah, big up Lokonga and the coaching staff at Luton, because this is what it's designed to do. You go on loan, you show your quality. Arteta might think, rah, maybe I've made a mistake or I've loaned you out and you can come back in. We've seen it with Saliba to a degree, Emil Smith Rowe. Or maybe you put yourself in the shop window. We say, you know what, we made the wrong decision signing him. Let's get our money back. And if Lokonga is sold, you know, the best thing would be Luton to stay up, because they might be tempted to take him permanently if he is sold. Based on how he's playing, not that I'm saying he's playing amazing, but based on how he's playing, this is probably the strongest case Arsenal have in terms of getting anything close, if not more, than the initial fee we spent on him. We've gone over Jurgen Klopp's comments, people. and whatnot. And he said, you know, moving away from that, Lokonga said he isn't actually at his best yet. He said, I'm getting there. I'm not far from my best level, but I'm not there yet. I'm working every day to recover my body after I play, because it's been a long time since I've played this many games in a row. Fair enough, people. He also said, we are giving the ball to each other and we have such a good understanding. You can see it on the pitch. It's just a pleasure to play with him in relation to Barkley, because I know I can trust him and he knows he can trust me. He then went on to say, people, in relation to Barkley, we had a chat. I know he had a period when he was at Chelsea, when he went on loan, and when he came back, that's why we were talking. That will be the case for me at Arsenal in June. I try to use this experience as much as I can, try to get some advice to try to avoid mistakes and find my own way. Fair enough, people. And he spoke about not being called up to Belgium, allegedly. He said, it's difficult to say I deserve it because it's the gaffer that will make these choices. Who is playing as the number 6 or 8? But of course, I'm a candidate to be there, as Ross is with England. Ross needs to be there because when you see how he's playing, he's doing really well. He needs to be in the squad. That's fair enough. We all have seen the all or nothing where Eddie and Nketiah got onto him and said, you're the only one that's not playing. He said, I would still have the same answer now. A player wants to be on the pitch, and if he's not playing, he's not happy. And that's true. And a lot of things in relation to you need the manager's confidence and what Lokonga has said there, I don't disagree, and I think that's needed. But it's either be useful or be useless. We're playing for keeps, you know. Everybody's got a sub story. Nobody cares, you know. I'm sure in an ideal world, Mikel Arteta would love to give everybody suitable minutes. Everyone's got a fair chance and things. But unfortunately, in life, and it goes for all our lives, you know, we have to be grateful, because if life was fair, we'd have a lot less. And at the end of the day, you know, while it's a family-orientated club and it's a friendly thing and stuff, you're here because of convenience, not because you like each other. Mikel Arteta is not at Arsenal as the manager because we like him as a person. It's because we think you're the best man for the job, and the rest is with the players. However they've got here, there's many different journeys to be in Arsenal's first team or be a professional footballer. So quite frankly, you know, as much as I bleed for you and I feel the Arsene Wenger in me and whatnot, you need to be, I feel the Jose in me saying, just get on with it. You tough, right? Get on with it. Nobody cares. Work harder. And unfortunately, this might not be a story. I still would have the same answer. Well, sorry, we've already gone over that. I didn't find it difficult, but I didn't like it. Eddie was looking like the guy who was working hard, and I was looking like the guy who was not happy, blaming and moaning. Eddie is my friend. It's more of a thing on social media. I didn't realize how big Arsenal was until this year, because when you're in it, you can't really see what's happening outside. You just focus on playing and training. Now I've been to Crystal Palace and Luton. You can look at it from further away and you can see how big the club is. They have fans all over the world. He then went on to say, people, I'm not someone who cries a lot, but if we stay in the Prem, I might be crying on the pitch. That would mean a lot for me, for the years I've been through, and for them to achieve that I know how much it really means. So yeah, big up Lokonga and Jurgen Klopp and everyone else. It feels like we're going full circle where Arsenal rumours are concerned. Arsenal have once again been linked with Ollie Watkins, people. Arsenal preparing a summer offer for Aston Villa striker Ollie Watkins, according to reports. Amid claims PSG will go all out for Osimhen. So it seems like every striker Arsenal was linked with, we're not going to quote unquote have a free run. We've been linked with Ollie Watkins before, people, and we all know reports have said that the sporting director Edu, as well as the manager Mikel Arteta, have earmarked the number 9 position to want to improve upon. Ollie Watkins, you could argue if you want Ivan Toney at the club, right, people, and let me know your thoughts, as I've said with everything. If you want Ollie Watkins if you want Ivan Toney at the club, you could make a case that you should want Ollie Watkins, because you could argue that Ollie Watkins is a better fit. Now, we all know Tony's got one foot out the door with his contract, with how he speaks post-game, and when asked about his future, you know, etc., etc. Aston Villa, you know, are trying to become a team that breaks into the Champions League. I'm sure Ollie Watkins has actually signed a new deal, and they're doing good things under Unai Emery. So it's going to cost a lot of money, in which it probably won't be value for money. But for what it's worth, though, Ollie Watkins has 13 goals and 10 assists in 25 games this season, and is Premier League proven, having done it for a number of years. For what it's worth, Arsenal see Watkins, who is a boyhood Arsenal fan, as an ideal candidate to boost their forward line, as they identify the striker's position as one of the priority areas to strengthen. Apparently, he'll have a price tag of £85 million, which equates to 100 million euros, people. So you lot let me know your thoughts on that. Apparently, Arsenal want to sign a new central midfielder at the end of this season, and a fresh report has confirmed one of the names at the top of the list, and I'd imagine Zubimendi. Onana is one player Arsenal admire. The North Londoners have also opened talks with the reps of Juventus's Rabiot as they try and sign him on a free transfer. According to Dean Jones, Martin Zubimendi could be the man heading to Arsenal this summer. The 25-year-old Real Sociedad star has been linked with a move to Arsenal for some time and is considered to be one of the best defensive midfielders in La Liga, people. Dean Jones on that has said, people, It would give Zubimendi a big decision to make if Alonso joins Liverpool. First and foremost, I think the player wants to consider his options carefully and be sure that he's going to move to the Premier League if the club that fits him. Now, obviously, you can't rule out staying at Sociedad. Obviously, Arsenal have been linked with him, and not only is Mikel Arteta and his coaching staff, or a couple of them, Spanish. Mikel Arteta is from his kind of region, so there's obviously that. Xabi Alonso is doing great things as a manager, and with Thomas Tuchel actually being sacked, he's once again been linked with the Bayern Munich position, one of his former clubs, and Zubimendi has been linked with Bayern Munich as well. So if you've got Arsenal, Man United, Liverpool, allegedly, Bayern Munich, Barcelona, again, whether these clubs are able to get things done are completely different factors, but you've got a big decision to make, people. He doesn't want to make a misstep at this stage of his career, from what I understand. Obviously, Mikel Arteta is a big admirer of his, and he knows that Arsenal want to sign him. Arteta has his own links to Real Sociedad and the region, so that's good from an Arsenal perspective. So, yeah, I mean, it doesn't really shed anything that we, quote unquote, didn't know, people, for what it's worth. We have been linked with the Porto striker Ivan Nilsson, people, and he's a target of allegedly United and Arsenal. So we're going to get to see this individual up close and personal over 180 minutes of football across our two legs, people. He's got 21 goals in 26 games this season, people, and he has said, I like English football. I really like English football. I'm at a good level in my career, but I'm not at a top level. I have a lot to evolve, but that's what I work for. If any big team comes, I'll try to do my best for Porto. I'll work hard to be prepared to the fullest. Fair enough, lad. Inter Milan are desperately trying to retain the services of Lautaro Martinez amid links to Chelsea and Arsenal, and talks are ongoing over a new deal, which we knew already. The CEO of Inter Milan has confirmed that. Lautaro has said he's happy there, but you never know in life. I know he didn't give a great audition for himself against Atletico Madrid, a club he almost signed for once upon a time. Big up you lot that was part of that watch along. Make sure you're here at 7 p.m, by the way, people, because we will be doing a Porto versus Arsenal watch along. So, yeah, allegedly, Arsenal and Barcelona have both held conversations over a deal for Martinez previously, and would be two sides to watch should any unexpected twist happen with talks over a new deal, people. So we'll have to see. Tony Khan of Fulham has spoken on Palhinha's potential exit in the summer. I'd want him to stay for as long as possible, but if an offer came along that would make sense for everyone, I think that's something you have to consider with every player at the right time. And you can imagine links to him are going to go full circle once again. Lautaro said, I was close to signing for Atletico Madrid in 2018, but it didn't happen. I'm so happy I ended up at Inter. We are growing. This group is very good, and I'm so happy to be here. And he has previously spoken about wanting to sign a new deal. On the topic of signing new deals, we've heard this for a number of weeks that Tomiyasu's deal is more or less done. Apparently, Romano has said Tomiyasu's new deal done and agreed since 2 weeks. It's just a matter of time to announce it. Fair enough. Mikel Arteta has spoken in his press conference, people, on Porto. He said, I'm really impressed with Porto. I know the manager really well and the history that they have. They have a lot of experience in competitions. They have many qualities in many phases of play. That's why they're always competitive in European competitions. We don't have the best of records in Portugal as well. It's a really tough opponent that we're going to face tomorrow, but at the same time, we are very excited. It's been 7 years and we haven't been here, and we are all full of energy and excitement to play the game we want tomorrow. On Fabio Vieira, who has traveled, and you'd imagine he would want to play against his former club, especially in Portugal. I'm really happy with him, but sad at the same time because it's been a long period for him, especially the last injury, because he had some momentum and had put some performances together before he got injured. That broke up his rhythm again like last season, but he is an enormous talent and we're trying to go to get the best out of him. Be nice to see him, and I'm probably not going to go off to the Euros with Portugal, but if you play well, you never know. On his thoughts on Diego Costa, the keeper, he said, I'm not here to rate their players, but he's very good for sure. He's been consistently at that level for a few years. On Portuguese football, they are, first of all, very passionate, which is the first ingredient you have to know. Great coaches and great academies, among the best in Europe, for sure. It's not a coincidence how many talents they develop and how successful they are in many leagues. It tells you the story about their culture and how they're raised. I'm a big fan of it. On how far we can go or deeper in the competition, it's great. We have earned the right to be here. It's been 7 years since we've been at this table for this kind of match, and 14 years since we've been able to go to the next stage. That's the challenge. That is what is ahead of us, and we are really excited to face it and go for it with full belief. That's for sure. On whether it's important not to underestimate the first leg of the round of 16, I personally feel a couple of times we've gone out in the Champions League. The damage has obviously been done in the second leg, but I think the story's been written in the first leg, definitely where Sporting are concerned, in my humble opinion, last season. We know how tricky it is. We've been here 2 or 3 months out of the competition, and now we are going to face a really different stage of it. All the teams are very, very tough. We have little time to prepare the games, as you can see with the fixture calendar list. The ball is rolling. You have to be ready because the teams are very prepared and very dangerous. Kai Havertz has history at this ground. He said that's a conversation that's been going on for a few days. So maybe one to put a bet on. It's probably the biggest highlight of his career, an incredible moment for him and Georgie as well. Regarding his performances, he has been for the past 3 months. He has scored a fantastic goal on top of that, so probably bigger than what he's done in the past, but we are really happy with him. On whether he asks for help from Vieira, he was really pushing because he wanted to be here, that's for sure. Having an insider, someone who has experience, has lived the culture and the club, gives you a lot of information. It's very important in Europe to understand the context of the game, what type of opponent they are, what type of atmosphere you're going to face, and he can give us some really important information, which, again, we cannot underestimate any team in the knockout stages of any competition. On whether there was a mental block to go through in the past, yeah, and someone called Messi as well was another obstacle that we faced. Bayern Munich as well. This competition is where it's at individual quality. It's extremely important because sometimes it comes down to the details. You are through or you are out. As they say in life, the winner wins and the loser explains. And you have to be really prepared, and you need your players at their best when the opportunity and occasion arises. And tomorrow, for sure, we're going to need it. On whether he has spoken to the players about our record in the comps, no, I haven't had any conversations related to that. They know that we haven't been here in the competition for the last 7 years. Obviously, because some of them were here and they know the story and they know what happened in the past is irrelevant. And the challenge and ambition that we now have is to go through, and we deserve to be through. On what he's learned from the Champions League so far, learning every day in the job when you don't have the experience. Try to use all people's experience. Make sure you feel your gut as well, because that's really important. Make sure you prepare well and work hard. Make sure that you've done all the bits that you need to do, make the right calls and right decisions. And then you have a feeling how the team is feeling, what the team believes that is needed to be in the best place to win the match. Nothing different to any other big match that we've played in our domestic competitions. He then went on to say, well, it's certainly one of them in relation to winning. I don't know if it's the best, but it would be incredible to have that feeling to lift that cup in London on the 1st of June. It's there, it's in our minds, and it's a dream, but it's a lot of things that you have to earn the right before that. And tomorrow we're going to have a big obstacle ahead of us. We're looking really forward to it. And then he said, people, is it a chance to prove how good we are as a team? Yes, it's true, because we don't have the experience. That's the reality. 95% of the players have not played in this competition. Who actually has played in this competition? I don't know if Odegaard's played, with the Real Madrid stuff, so I won't say him, but Jorginho, obviously, Havertz, obviously, Partey, obviously. Hey, Jesus, obviously, Zinchenko, obviously. Some of them are not even fit. I mean, Declan Rice has experience in Europe, but I wouldn't say that. In fact, if we're saying experience, they all have. Yeah, I might. El Nene, technically, he's played in the Champions League. Yeah, there's some substance to it. I'll probably missed out 1 or 2 players, which she's right. They haven't played in the last 16 and I haven't, but we have so much enthusiasm and energy as well, and willingness, with a point to prove that we are good enough and want to be there. That's our desire and passion with which we're going to play the game tomorrow. On whether he will warn the players about not taking things for granted, for sure, there's not a player there that hasn't experienced anything like it. And we know the competition we are facing, the history of this football club in relation to this competition, and that's not the case at all. Gabriel has spoken as well, our centre-half people. He said, it will be a very difficult match against a team with a lot of quality. We all know how difficult it will be, and we've worked hard to be ready for the game. We have a lot of quality and have been playing together for quite a few years. We know the Champions League is a difficult competition, but we are in a crescendo and have the quality. Moving on, he said, I'm really happy to be working hard every day with my teammates. It's a dream for me to play in the Champions League, and I hope we'll be in the best possible form for this game. I think we're in a really good moment, and I hope we can continue to do so. We need to remain focused in every game and give our all. It makes me really happy. It shows that I've been working hard to earn that right. I work hard every game, and it's made me incredibly happy. When now he's finally got his own chant, which I've been, really vocal about. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on how you're feeling about Porto and Arsenal's fixture, how you're feeling about Porto individually and also Arsenal, how you feel about Arsenal's ambitions for the Prem, and also the transfer news we've gone over. Once again, please comment your thoughts, smash the like button, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Most importantly, thank you for being here. Stay safe, stay blessed. Join me at 7 p.m, people, to begin our Porto versus Arsenal watch along, and I'll see you lot all soon, man. Peace.
Because you always used to act when defending.
I've been given like